Today we are embarking on a journey. No, that's stupid. Today we are traveling from Bangkok to Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya is the previous capital of Thailand, and not only are we going to show our adventure to Ayutthaya, but we wanted to share our story. The story of how Gustav and I met, the story of why we are here, and what's next for us. So we just got here to Ayutthaya train station, and we are going to rent some motorbikes.
Got a scooter, 200 baht, 2 iced coffees. Not sure how much they are.
So our train left at 7:45 in the morning and it is 8:43. So train is just under an hour. Really easy, quick train ride, beautiful, out into the countryside, and we're here. So we completely forgot that you're supposed to be covered because this is a temple. We just decided that we're gonna walk around it and see, because there's a ton of trails just around it that you can walk on. So we're just gonna walk around here. So Ayutthaya was at one time the capital of the Kingdom of Siam, which is now called Thailand. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, brimming with ancient temples, breathtaking ruins, and a rich cultural heritage. So let's check it out.
So I came to Thailand about 6 months before Kate. It's April 2021. So when I came to Thailand, I still had to quarantine for 2 weeks. No human contact, no going outside. They brought food and just placed it outside my hotel room. So I had to they'll knock, leave it there, and then they'll get out as fast as possible. So I got a job before I came to Thailand, landed a job with the school, signed contracts, and then they organized accommodation for me. So we started our training in April 2021 for the school, before the school year started. And then we started teaching just online for about 6 months before the students came back to school. And in those 6 months, I got really lonely, I would say, because all my friends went to the islands and I tried to stay at my apartment and save up money. So I had to save up money. I'd sell my car before I got to Thailand as well. Flights were expensive, quarantine was expensive, and then you have to put down 2 months rent deposit before you move in. Okay, so the dating game in Bangkok was a struggle for me. I was catfished once. It wasn't always easy, and also meeting people online is sometimes a little weird, and especially in a big city like Bangkok, getting somewhere to meet up with someone is quite a hassle. Yeah, during COVID especially, the expat community was way smaller. A lot of people left, went back home. And then, luckily 6 months later, Kate arrived at my school.
So walking around Ayutthaya is really nostalgic for me because I actually came to Thailand for the first time in 2017 to visit my older sister who was teaching in Nakhon Nayok. I traveled with my younger sister and we came out to Thailand for 5 days, stayed in Nakhon Nayok for 3 days and then 2 days on Koh Chang. And when I saw my sister teaching in Thailand, I immediately knew that this was what I wanted to do after I graduated university. Obviously, COVID hit while I was in university, and then I graduated in 2021, and in the summer of 2021, I took my TESOL course to become a teacher. I came through a program called Explore Asia, so they were helping me come to Thailand, they helped me get a job, they helped me with accommodation, they helped me with everything that was going on in Thailand. So Explore Asia is a company that's based in Thailand, and I knew that I could have gotten a job without them, but it was really comforting to know that they were here. You know, they knew what was the situation in Thailand. The world had changed so much, so I was a little bit like concerned about traveling abroad and moving abroad to a country that I didn't know that much about, and I honestly didn't know what to expect, so it was nice to have this comfortable feeling that these people were here. So they helped me get my quarantine. I didn't have to quarantine like Gustav. I actually was able to do what was called the Phuket sandbox, which was not really a quarantine. To be honest, they set this scheme up where you can just go to Phuket and then you were able to just test, and then if you tested negative upon arrival, you were allowed to go out in Phuket. So I went to Hua Hin after I finished my Phuket quarantine, finished my TESOL course there, and from there I took a bus up to Bangkok, and that's where my school was. I was a little bit nervous going to Bangkok because I'm not really a city dweller. I don't know, wasn't really my first choice, but that's where the jobs were. Went to my job, had my first day at school. I was so nervous. So at my first day of school, our project manager brought us out to lunch. And at lunch, Gustav walked up and introduced himself to everyone, shook everyone's hand. And my first impression of him was that he was so kind and sweet and just like, he wanted to make everybody feel comfortable. And on Friday night, we had just finished our first week of school. My friend and I, we were just so excited. We were just like feeling relieved that we did our first week. We're finished and just relaxing, having a glass of wine up on the roof with our colleagues. And Gustav walked over to us and asked us if we wanted to go downtown with him. And at first we were like, oh, we just want to chill. You know, we just want to chill night after our first week and maybe tomorrow. And then he kind of gave me another look like, are you sure? And that was when I was sort of hooked. I was like, okay, let's go. So we finished our bottle of wine and went downtown. Yeah, it was a really fun night, started chatting and had really good conversation. And we chatted till like 3 in the morning. So yeah, and then we just immediately hit it off, and the next day we met up. We lived in the same apartment building, so it was pretty easy to get a hold of each other, and we just couldn't stop talking after that, you know? We just kept going. Oh, there's an ant.
So after meeting Kate, we started hanging out. I asked her if she wanted to be exclusive, because that's what the Americans call it.
We started dating in October of 2021.
So we started dating, and then our first trip together, and like long trip for like the Christmas break, we went to the northern parts of Thailand and did a motorcycle trip, motorcycle loop. One of my all-time favorite trips of my life. It was so much fun with Kate. And we just really enjoyed traveling together, working together.
We spent our first Christmas together and our first New Year's, and it was so wonderful. And then in January and February is when you start needing to think about, are you going to stay another year? What are you going to do next semester? Because April is when the new school year starts. My school had offered me a position as math department head, and they offered me a raise, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to stay here. So I stayed at my school, and Gustav moved schools to quite far away, but we needed to find a place that was central. So we found our apartment, which was the base.
Eventually we got an apartment together. Our first video is the base, that apartment video of ours. That is the apartment we actually moved in together.
It honestly was so seamless. Like when we first moved in, we just didn't even really have any problems. Like we just fit together nicely. Our schedules were pretty much the same. We enjoyed doing the same things. We enjoy working out. We enjoy getting out on the weekends, going out to nature, and yeah. The first few months of living together was just like, it was just easy. So some interesting facts about Ayutthaya. The city was the capital for 417 years. It is the longest Thai capital. Interesting. It was built at the meeting of the rivers Chao Phraya, Pa Sak, and Lopburi. So it actually is an island city. As you can tell, there's all these river streams, and yeah, it goes all around the city. It's pretty cool. So we're here at Ayutthaya Floating Market. It's a little bit crazy. Lots of whistles blowing and people guiding us where to go. But wow, look at this.
So good. Free? Oh, ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ South Africans love beef. It's like a beef stick with coriander, like a kebab. So good.
So at this floating market, when you first pull up, it is going to be a 200 baht entrance fee. You get a little trip around on the boat, and then you can go and walk around in the market. So it's not like you sit in the boat and then like go to each little stall. You go around in the boat and then you walk around.
The boat has a really interesting engine. They just use a generator, make it a pump. So it pumps water. So it's like a hovercraft.
Included in your price is also a performance, which I'm not sure what that is yet, but I can hear it. So this place is called Ayutthaya Boat Noodle, and it has boat noodles for 15 baht. That is the smallest bowl I've ever seen. Look at that. It's like one bite. That beef is so soft. It's so good. The noodles? A little pork ball.
Beef ball.
Beef ball. So after the walking around the floating market, now we are just chilling in a little cafe, drinking some coffee, relaxing. Thank you, Kapunka. Just relaxing with some air conditioning.
I wanted to get a visa, a tourist visa, to go meet Kate's family. They also had a couple of weddings in the family that I was the +1 of, obviously Kate's +1. So my visa was denied, unfortunately. It's just a tourist visa because I'm not in my home country, and they probably thought I want to go live there illegally or something with Kate, which was not the plan. But last year, at the beginning of November-ish, I decided to buy a ring for Kate to ask her to marry me. And we went on a trip. I didn't tell her I had a ring, and her family was like, oh, you guys are struggling with visas? Just get married. Not knowing that I actually already bought a ring to get engaged.
In December of 2022, we took a trip to Khao Yai.
So I bought the ring and we went on a trip to Khao Yai, which is the same place we went for our first little motorcycle trip. Just the two of us, Kate on the back, us on a little scooter.
We went for a run one morning while we were there, and then later in the day, I took a shower, and while I was in the shower, Gustav texts me, and he's like, I set up a little picnic spot over on that spot where we ran this morning. Can you meet me here?
So I decided I'm gonna set up a little picnic blanket with some candles and a bottle of champagne. And I asked Kate to meet me in this little trail we just ran in the morning.
Meet him there, and I see candles and a towel laid up on the ground and some champagne, and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. And then I'm like, oh, I think this is more than what I think this is, you know? I just immediately started like crying. Like I was so emotional. I knew what was coming. Once I got closer, and I could tell he was a little bit nervous too. And then he got down on one knee.
Got on my knee and
he just said, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I love you, and will you marry me?
And the rest is history.
Obviously he proposed and we were engaged, and then it was getting paperwork together to get married. That was such a struggle. We went on March 14th, 2023. We went to the district office. We took off work that day. It was kind of surreal, to be honest. Like we just took a taxi there, went in, and we signed some papers, and they're like, okay, it's finished. And we were like, it's finished? Like, do we kiss? What? And then we just took some photos and called my family, and we were on FaceTime, and we're all like crying a little bit. And then later on in the day, South Africa woke up, so we called his family, and it was such a fun day. It was just casual almost, like elopement is so casual. It's just like, okay, it's finished. So what are we up to now? We live outside of Bangkok, both work at two different schools. He is a biology teacher at a secondary school, and I am now a kindergarten teacher, and I love it. It's an awesome job. So in terms of our visa, we are waiting for his marriage-based green card.
It's gonna take a while.
We won't bore you with all the details. It's gonna take a while. So we are here. We're enjoying our time in Bangkok. We were kind of in a rush, but now like that we've accepted it and that we have like this time to explore Asia more, we're actually more excited.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. We are just awaiting our visa pretty much, but we're awaiting a visa in a wonderful country, and we have our teaching jobs, and we are excited for our YouTube journey.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah. Thank you so much.